Let's start with a little bit of breathing. So this is we'll be using this in a moment. This is a rolled up old sticky mat. I've folded the mat in half, then in half again. This is a rather thin mat. And then rolled it up, tucking in all the little bluebies. And then I have this little roll, which we'll be using during the class. You can have that ready, or you can even sit on it, or not. We'll start with Kapalabhati with Uddiyana Bandha. So go ahead and get your tissue if you need one, or like one nearby. Inhale through the nose, exhale the air forcefully out the nose in 1 second, and then draw the abdomen up. Begin, inhale, draw, inhale, draw the abdomen up, repeat, draw the abdomen up, draw, 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 draw the abdomen, draw the abdomen, two more, and then inhale, return to normal breathing. Tissue. Curl the toes under, sitting on the toes. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, lengthen tailbone down. Give yourself a little bit of light traction throughout the spine and the ribs. Feel free to munch around into your lower back ribs. So we'll be opening up that rib cage today. Putting some space in the closet of you, in the life of you, in the mind of you, in the body of you, in the body of your entireness. Breathing in now to your right lower back rib as you take the body over to the left. And exhale, debris, clutter, old dust out through the tailbone. Inhale again into that right kidney area. Putting some space around your kidney and adrenal, and then exhale, stress, tension, whether it's habitual, chronic, or just acute, meaning it's just a single episode. Inhale back up. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale back. Change the interlacing of your fingers. And then inhale, take it over to your right, breathing into your left kidney, left adrenal, left lower back rib area. Start with 1-to-1 breathing. So inhale and exhale are the same. If you'd like to extend the elimination quality or the eliminative aspect of this, feel free to draw the abdomen up after the end of your exhale. As you lift up just a little bit, lift up and out of that dust, creating a little bit more space in you, more space for what it is you're seeking more of, whether it's vibrancy, creativity, love, money, time, energy, balance, whatever your thing that you might be seeking would be. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, lengthen the spine. See, notice if you have a little bit more ability to find a little more room up in the rib cage, and then inhale, look up again. Exhale, take the hands back behind you, opening through the collarbones. Keep breathing here. Opening up to the front of the collarbones here, underneath the collarbones. As I'm opening around my collarbone region, underneath the collarbones, feeling the breath help open the collarbones. Feel my breath now, but in front of my sacrum, pressing back against my sacrum. So I'm feeling some pressure here, not pressure, but a little support from inside to my sacrum, filling that back body and also filling this upper front body. So feeling my lower back body and my upper front body here. So I'm not just filling my front body, I'm feeling my upper front body and my lower back body. One more breath. And then exhale, come on forward, tap the toes out. Take it over into child's pose. Stretch your fingers out in front of you. Keep walking them forward till your hips come off of your heels a little bit. If you want to grab your mat, or just keep your fingers just grounded in. And then allow your tailbone, sit bones to move backwards. Again, finding that space from the sit bone, tailbone region, even the pubic bone in the front, if you can access that feeling, into those lower back ribs, the kidneys, the adrenals, putting space in that region. As I inhale about 5 counts or 6 counts and exhale about 5 counts, 6 counts. Draw the abdomen up at the end of the exhale to create more space, to feel that suction lengthening your inner body. As I lengthen my inner body, my outer body also lengthens away. So my outer body moves down as my inner body moves up, feeling even more space between my inner and outer bodies, my inner and outer selves, my inner and outer worlds. And then release your hips back onto your heels, arms down by the sides, and really allow yourself to enjoy the space that practice might have provided for you. Walk the hands back out in front, fingertips into little bird cages, then walk yourself over to the right, breathing now into your left lower back ribs, left kidney, left adrenal. Putting some more space in there. 5 or 6, exhale 5 or 6, draw the abdomen up, feeling your inner body suction upward, creating space while your outer body moves downwards. You're really feeling that lengthening as your two bodies move away from each other in order to connect with their spaciousness. In this way, we're giving my inner body and my outer body some space so that we may find a deeper, more spacious connection. Walk the hands back to the center. Take a moment. And now just let that space be space and see what that added space is doing for your relationship to your inner and outer selves, your inner and outer bodies, or just something else. Up onto the fingertips into bird cages, walking your hands over to the left. Inhale 5 or 6 into your right lower back ribs, right kidney, right adrenal. Exhale, same counts. Draw the abdomen up, feel your inner body move upward, your outer body move downward. giving themselves space from each other in order to return to each other from a spacious point of view. Walk yourself back to the center. Take a moment, feel. Come up onto fours. Inhale forward. Exhale, slide the hips back. Inhale up. Curl the toes under. Exhale into down dog. Repeat that. Inhale to fours. Exhale, slide back. Inhale to fours. Curl toes under. Exhale, down dog. Do 2 more rounds on your own. Make your spine as undulating or straight as you want. Play with the sequence. Make it your own. Then inhale to fours. And then exhale, slide your right leg back behind you. Open that hip. Open that thigh in your hip. So your bum moves onto the floor and your right arm over your head. Again, putting space into your right kidney, right lower back rib. Gently coming up onto your left hand. Bring the body up. Feeling that external rotation of your right thigh bone, moving your right hip towards the floor. Opening up your right inner thigh. Right arm up and over the head. Opening the collarbones just a little bit. Right arm might scoop out to the side. Play with the position of your head gently. Opening up your front upper body and your back lower body. Can I find that diagonal between my sacrum and my collarbones? Right hand, curl the fingertips into the vogue. Take it all the way to my left shoulder, arm over the head, and then vogue it open. Palm to the back wall, rotate. Vogue across the face, turn the palm, open it up. Do your best if you haven't had the vogues before. We've had a few series on them, so I'm not going to break it down right now, but feel free to email me if you need some more instruction. Happy to share. Let's do a couple more vogues here, feeling that sort of voguey twist. And then take your arm back behind you. Now opening collarbones. Now from your right thigh bone, rotate that thigh in. Lead you back around now. Coming back onto fours. Sliding into down dog, and take a moment to feel the different sides of your body now. Inhale 5 or 6, exhale 5 or 6. Draw the abdomen up after the exhale. Inner body moves up, outer body moves down. Feel that sheath, your layers. So I'm enjoying a little spinal undulation here because that space has given me some inspiration to move. Get some space in that spinal colony region. Come back to fours. Inhale. Shake it out first. Exhale. Just let some of that move around in there. Why not? Now that there's space, I can feel my organs jiggle a little bit more. They feel like, oh yeah, hi. Thank you for that. Thank you for that acknowledgement. They're talking to me now. Thank you, Jean. Thank you for that acknowledgement. Oh yes, it's going to be so much more easy for me to do my job now that I have space. We like that. Inhale. Now exhale, slide your left leg back behind you. So I'm feeling a nice length through that side body. Rotating my left thigh bone out or externally. My left arm over the head. Still feeling that external rotation of my thigh bone. So depending on what your hips are, how they're shaped, you may or may not be able to get your left sit bone to the ground at this point. Don't worry about it. Focus mostly on that space and that left side body. Also giving a nod to what's happening on the right side body, but don't obsess about it. Unless that's your curiosity, then go there. Coming up onto your right hand, now the chance of increases for that left sit bone to get more towards the floor. So that's opening. Your left arm out to the side, open through the chest, and curl the fingers in, vogue it down, over the head, and curling my fingers in, across my face towards my right shoulder, palm turns away, swoops over my head, palm faces behind, and then rotate through the fingers. Vogue it a couple more times this way. Let's go one more. And then take that arm all the way behind you, opening through the collarbones. Upper front body, lower back body. Feel support from inside. So behind the collarbones, the breath is supporting them, letting the collarbones rest on the breath, and the breath is supporting my sacrum from inside behind. Now, of course, you're gonna have lungs down in your sacrum, but feel that sense of what breath would be there. A spaciousness, a spacious support, that is the breath. And then release your left arm up, take it over the head, rotating that left thigh bone internally now to bring you back around, lengthen again, and bring yourself back up to fours, slide into down dog, take a moment. Some of you will stay in down dog here, others will be inspired to place your forearms on the floor for dolphin to get even more space. Now, as we start from those lower back ribs, now I'm starting to move into my upper rib region, into my my middle ribs, but also my lower upper ribs. Maybe even into my upper ribs. And then inhale, come down. Exhale, slide into child's pose. Awesome. Come on up. Let's get your roll if you have one. If you don't have a roll, you can use a block. You can use a towel for this. See the shape? It's not too fat, but you decide. Place that down there. And then we'll just place it underneath, right around where my lower back ribs are. If it's too high, then my neck gets all kind of cattywampus here. This happens to be a really good size for me, but you'll find your size. Take a moment here. Arms are out to the side in a cactus pose with palms up. You're welcome to play with the position of your arms. Whoops. Bump into your microphone, which you might have. And then bring your feet up into constructive rest. So feet flat on the floor, knees to the ceiling. Inhale 5 or 6, exhale 5 or 6. Now inhale, and then exhale, bring your right leg up. Inhale, leg down. Exhale, left leg up. So as I alternate bringing my legs up, I'm trying not to scrunch in that hip flexor, but really lengthen in my lower back body. Can I find that supportive breath from my sacrum move to not only move directly back into my sacrum, but also move down into my hip, into my sit bone as I move my leg up and down. So I'm moving my leg up and down, not from creasing my front hip flexor, but from lengthening and expanding my back body. Feel the difference there? When I alternate, go ahead and check it out. What happens if you just really close this angle between your thigh and your hip? Just really bring it in from there. And then take the same leg. What happens if you bring it up from lengthening that back body? I'm using my hand to show you where the action is, but you don't have to use your hand. You can just use your mind and your intention to see if you feel a difference between just closing that angle or lengthening from the back body to bring it on up. Just notice how you feel qualitatively different there, if you do. Good, and just stay there now, feet flat on the floor. Take a moment to allow that to assimilate. Take your feet a little bit wider than hips distance, and then just gently drop your right knee to the floor and let the left follow. And you've got your roll, and roll your hips back, left knee falls, and then right knee follows. So keep rolling through now that sacrum, that whole lower back body. Filling that lower back body with breath as support, with space as support, as you let your legs roll side to side, upper body on the roll. This is why you probably don't want too high of a roll. But again, this will be an experiment, finding the roll that's right for you. And then keep the legs over to the right. Extend your left arm up on that, move the block that's in my way. Boop, 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 boop. Left arm up in that high diagonal. So I'm moving my left hand away from my left knee. And then roll back. Take a moment in center before you do the other side. And then knees over to the left. Let yourself get settled here. Let your body organize itself. Before you start asking it to do more, give it a moment. Say, oh, this is a different side. Things are different on this side. Yes, they are. And then when you find yourself finding a little bit more relaxation, a little bit more organization, then extend, lengthen your right arm. I'm bumping into my microphone, so I'm a little self-conscious of that. So if it's making lots of sounds, boop, 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 because I'm touching the metal, sorry about that. Take that arm over the head. It's just nothing I can do about it right now. Change my thing, and I'm not going to do that. Find that diagonal from my right fingertips all the way to my right knee. Plus finding that support in front of my sacrum So I'm feeling support in my lower back body and my upper front body simultaneously. Bring that back to the center. Everything comes to neutral or whatever that is for you. Take a moment. And roll onto the side, remove the roll. And before we do anything else, just take a moment to feel. Where do you feel space? Where don't you feel space? You feel taller even though you're just laying down? Do you feel longer? Do you feel more connected to yourself, more aware of yourself in a way that is spacious? Nice, go ahead and roll back over onto your side. Downward facing dog, inhale, exhale, take it on up. Right leg up in a three-legged dog, open the hips, feel for your, play around in here, maintaining the awareness of that length of space in the torso. Play around now as you open your right hip, as you drop your right hip down in towards the midline. So playing around in that area, and just notice how much mobility, how many options do you have? If you feel like you want to flip your dog, go right ahead. May not be what you're in the mood for right now, or your body may not be in the mood for it. If you're not flipping your dog, you're doing something else. You might be dropping that hip down, getting a little bit more length in your twist. And then square those hips off and really feel now that space between both kidneys, both adrenals, both sets of lower back ribs. And then inhale, bring your right leg through to warrior one. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips. Great. Inhale, exhale, clasp the hands behind you, open the collarbones, breathe up. And then exhale, cascade forward. Keep going up and down now. Cognizant of that space in your lower back rib, kidney, adrenal area, continuing that dance between inner and outer bodies. That there's those sheaths, those layers moving around each other with space and freedom. So these two opposing things, my inner and my outer, I mean, that would be a pair of opposites, right? In and out. Can I find the space between those two things, those two opposing aspects, and find community, find connection, find how they support each other. Stay forward. Pour the weight onto that front leg. If you want to pick up your back leg, go right ahead. Release that back leg down. Inhale, come on up. Release the arms up and over. And then exhale. You can either do a vinyasa here, but today, because I really want to feel how different my sides feel, I'm going to just take it to standing. Once I do a vinyasa, it kind of neutralizes that asymmetry. And right now I want to feel that. But there's other days where I want to feel like I want to keep flowing into my vinyasa. So I do that. So you pick. I feel a lot of asymmetry and I'm really enjoying that feeling because it's telling me, oh, all these parts of myself exist. And now I'll do a vinyasa. If you already did one, then you're already in down dog. You don't have to do a vinyasa. You can just go to down dog if you want to. And then lift your left leg up and play around now with that idea of opening the hips, keeping that space in the lower back ribs, the kidney, the adrenals, the inner and outer bodies playing. So I'm going to drop my hip into the twist, really lengthening that way. You can lengthen the other way. Again, I give you the option of flipping the dog. Again, it may be your jam or today or not today. Maybe, who knows? You know. If you flipped it, great. If not, great. You're doing something else that you love, that you're excited about, that you're curious about at the very least, or that you're willing to do at the very least. And what is the very least anyway? Eventually, square those hips off, just feel that nice, really length between, almost a more even lengthening between your two sets of lower back ribs, two sets of kidneys, two sets of adrenals. And then inhale, left leg comes through to warrior one. Breathe those arms up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind you, open collarbones again. Enjoying that space back here. This is you're going up and down now. Inhale up and exhale over. This area between our sacrum and our ribs, we can get very crunchy there. A lot of energy, a lot of opinions about how the position of what our lower back should look like, about lower back strength versus mobility. A whole bunch of ideas are on the lower back. One of those ideas floating around out there has to do with support. And yes, there's back support, support from the back. We also have support from the inside, support from the space. As we give our back more space, can it find a different support? Take your body over now. Observe the difference in this side if you're feeling any. Some of you may feel quite symmetrical. When and if you're ready, you can pour the weight on that front leg. Lift the back leg if that's happening for you. I hope it happens for me on this side. If it doesn't, I'll just go slowly because I want to do it with integrity. Eventually move your leg back down. Inhale, come up. Whoop. Release the arms. That big sense of space. And then you can either take your Vinyasa or just stand, close eyes and feel. Take a moment. And if you've Vinyasa'd and you're already in down dog, I'll meet you there. One more time for dolphin pose. You're going to peel your right leg up. Just notice, how does that space in your side bodies help this pose? Help this point of view? How does it relate? How does that awareness and space around my inner and outer bodies change or inform the experience in this pose? Take the other leg up. If you like forearm balancing and you want it to already be balancing, please don't hold yourself back. And then come on down when you're ready. If you're still having a good time up there, stay there. Otherwise, child's pose can be lovely. Come on up. Take a moment. Sitting in Vajrasana. Arms out to the side. And then cross for double vogue. And take it back into reverse prayer. Back out to the side. Cross. Double vogue. Keep going back into reverse prayer. Out to the side. Cross. Double vogue. Palms are facing behind me. You're going to keep going into reverse prayer. Once again, double vogue, reverse prayer. Stay here. Front, upper body, back, lower body. As you take the body back, just a little bit. And then exhale, come forward. Feel that same length. And then inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time exhale, let's twist to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale up. Release the hands back behind you. And now take it into, you can walk your hands up to your feet and press up into camel. Or keep your bum down and just open the collarbones. Release the hips down. Take a moment, Vajrasana. Have your roll nearby and roll over onto your back. Take a moment and feel. Knees in, arms out to the side. Exhale slowly in the lower knees to the left, head to the right. Feel that diagonal line from my top knee all the way over to my opposing shoulder. So even though it's my right knee and my right shoulder, I'm still feeling that as my diagonal. Coming back up. Because once my left knee now crosses the center line, even though my left knee and my left shoulder are on the same side of the body, it's not anymore because once crossed the line. How many times do we cross the line every day? Lots. And just keep going back and forth, noticing when you cross that line, how you become, that same side becomes your own diagonal, so that what's on the same side can become its own opposing structure. And opposing structure doesn't have to be contrary, doesn't have to be adversarial. It can actually be like a diagonal support to help you be supported. It can be a support. So an opposing structure can be a supportive structure is what I'm trying to say. It took me many words to get there. Let's consider it the soundtrack of this dynamic twist series. Many words. Then feel free to stay on one side into the twist. Filling that back lower body, the front upper body. And come back to the center. Let sides be sides. Take a moment in the middle. When you feel your body move into more when it starts to feel more organized, twist to the other direction. Feeling that space, support of breath in your lower body, your back lower body, and your upper front body. Stay there a little longer if you like. Come back in. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, feet to the floor. If you'd like to take your roll one more time, instead of moving it long, lengthwise through the body, we're going to cross the body now. Place it somewhere in those lower back to middle back rib region. So you find a place that feels, quote, right for you. So really feeling now the ribs open and widen. You can bring your feet up into Supta Baddha Konasana if you like. That might be too much opening here. It might feel more integrated or connected to having your legs long or even more active. You choose though, because they all do different things. But my intention for doing this for myself right now is to feel my chest and my upper ribs more spacious. So my lower back region can lengthen with support. And it doesn't have to be the only mobile thing. Because sometimes our lower backs might get tight because they're the most mobile thing, because our upper bodies are so not mobile right now for whatever reason. And they get tight because they're tired of being so mobile. They're tired of being the ones that do it all. And then they'll just say, I've had enough, and they get tight. And then when you go, oh, my lower back, when really, yes, it's that. But also if I just created more space in my upper, it might provide a more balanced approach between my upper and my lower, which is also what we've been doing with the inner and the outer today. All right, that's enough of that. Roll off your roll. Move it out to the side. And take a little moment in Shavasana. Allow yourself to experience the joy of your own connection, of your own energy. Are you experiencing breath right now? Vibration? A sense of organization? A settling? A sense of relief or lightness or groundedness? Or something else? Embrace the space you've created for yourself. Whether you needed mental space today, emotional space, physical space, a combination of all of them. Just take a moment and really allow yourself to receive the support. Receive the space. Receive the support from the space that you are. The part of you, that spacious part of you, that is everything and nothing. It is in and out. It is right and left. That doesn't know right, that doesn't know wrong, that just knows all. That just knows. It just is. And if you pick a side, that's okay. Pick a side. Can you find support from that side? Do you need a side for support? And then what's the opposite? Because it's because of that opposite that you find the support. Otherwise, you just have a side. Take a moment. Feeling all sides to you. Your inside, your outside, your front side, your back side, your top, your bottom, and your right and your left. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and release. Gently wiggle fingers and toes. Finding the edges of your brand new, fully integrated bodies. Roll head side to side if you like. Eventually roll onto one of your sides into a loose fetal position. Just feeling what that side is. If you want to roll to the other side just to feel what that side is, go right ahead. I'm going to stay facing you right now. And then when you've explored the sides you want to explore, come to your seated position. Take a moment. Love your inside. Love your outside. Love yourself. All sides. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's my honor, my privilege, my inspiration to be with you. Namaste.